set up here. And I'm sorry I can't be with you guys today. Got a little bit of cold, so if I go into a coughing fit, please bear with me. And Mr. Timer, pause the time. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Here we go. Dear amore commons prat ur Africa. In Afrikaans, that means good morning. Let's talk about South Africa. This November, I set out on a trip of a lifetime. Together, my 16 fellow cohort members and I are going to South Africa. And we're doing this as part of our MBA program and our international trip. We very intentionally chose South Africa amongst 11 other countries to be the country that we wanted to go to really tie in everything that we've learned in our program over the last year, to meet with business leaders, experience the culture, and have a jolt of a time, or in Afrikaans, what they refer to as a party, a really awesome time. And South Africa is a really interesting place. We could spend all day talking about it. It has a rich history of human migrations going back thousands of years to colonialism, apartheid, and today it's the economic hub of the African continent. It's also known as the Rainbow Nation, and it was coined that by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who said it in reflection of the country's diversity in cultures, people, wildlife, and landscapes. For me, though, when I think about traveling, there's one thing that weighs heavy on my mind, and that's what's on the menu. So today, I'm going to take you on a little culinary journey across South Africa and hopefully whet your appetite more for the country. So when you go to South Africa, meat is what's on the menu. This country is the continent's largest meat producer, and you'll find everything there from chicken and beef, seafood, to exotic species like kudu and warthog. And a popular snack in South Africa is known as biltong. In the States, we think about this as jerky, but in South Africa, they mix their jerky in with unique spices and blends. You'll even find people munching down on this at cricket and rugby matches. The real star of the show, though, in South Africa is the braai, or it's also known as the shishinyana, which in Zulu means burnt meat. Now, in the States, we think of this as barbecue, but in South Africa, the braai is a cultural experience. You can go into a butcher shop, pick out the cut of meat that you want, and then head right out back where there are red hot grills ready to cook your meal on. Meanwhile, you can listen to music, share your meal with new friends and family, and turn it into a real experience. Now, I know that there are some people there in the group that are not meat eaters. So for the vegetarians of the group, the vegans out there, South Africa has you covered. This country is a rich blend of different peoples. And for hundreds of years, Indonesians, Malaysians, and Indians have come to the country and brought with them their flavors. When you go down the streets, you'll smell things like saffron, turmeric, cinnamon, and chili. And these flavors, they're mixed into rich stews and curries. And one of the most popular ones is called bunny chow. I promise you, there's no cute little bunny rabbits within this dish, but what it is a bread bowl filled with a vegetable curry. And this dish has gone back hundreds of years, back to when Indian workers used to eat it for lunch. Today, it's turned into a culinary phenomenon that's spreading across Europe. Another popular side dish that you'll find in just about every meal is shakalaka. And first off, this is just a really fun word to say. You guys can say it there in person. Shakalaka.
Shakalaka.
Yeah, shakalaka. It's peppers and tomatoes and carrots and onions mixed together with beans, and it's so delicious. For me, though, I got a little bit of a sweet tooth, and the thing that's on my mind is dessert. In South Africa, a popular dessert item is called Cook Sisters. This is essentially a plated and braided donut but it's more than that. It's fused with lemon and ginger inside it. They've also got milk tarts, which this comes from the Danish colonial background in the country. It's a custard pie. And finally, malva pudding. This one is a sponge cake covered in a decadent sauce and infused with the scent of roses inside it. That's pretty delicious. Now, if you're like me, all this eating has you thirsty right now, and South Africa has got just the thing for you. This country is a wine powerhouse, and across the country, there are over 1,000 vineyards, or what they call wine farms. Some of these date back all the way to the 17th century. And even Napoleon Bonaparte used to drink South African wine almost exclusively while he was in exile. For me, I usually get my wines by Kirkland's Finest down at Costco. But in this trip, I'm excited to experience some new horizons and really get into South African wine. Now, you're probably wondering, what's all this going to set me back? Let me introduce you to the Big Mac Index, courtesy of The Economist. This is essentially a comparison of a beloved item that we have probably all eaten and what it cost across the world. And this hasn't changed much since 2018. A Big Mac will run you about $2.50 in South Africa, which that goes a long way. So I'm excited to stretch the dollar as well as my waistband when I'm in the country in November. So I hope that this gets you excited about South Africa. I know that I'm salivating for it, and your belly's probably rumbling too. The next step for us is really planning out our itinerary and where we're going to go, what we're going to do in the country. So if you've been there, if you have recommendations, please let me know. I'd love to try to tie that in. And with that, I'll leave you with a final word, and you can say it with me. Giabonga.
Giovanna.
Giabonga.
Giovanna.
And this means thank you in Zulu. And thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
All right.
Thank you so much, Jonas, for the great visual power.